Today on UV Design Tips and Tricks, we show you how to force your WordPress site to HTTPS. Alright, so last week we showed you how to install an SSL certificate on Cpanel or your VPS Linux server. So today we're going to show you how to force WordPress to go through that SSL, let's call it doorway, to make sure all your visitors are safe and secure when they visit your site. WordPress, it's pretty easy. There's multiple ways to do things, and we're going to show you several of the different ways. The easiest way, well, they're all pretty easy, but for the non-people that have no idea what an htaccess file is, or they don't want to dink around with too much, you can go here to plugins, add new. Looks like I have an update. We'll do that later. There are several different plugins that can do this. One that I'm familiar with and seems to work pretty flawlessly is Really Simple SSL. I tell people it looks like a 2-year-old color it, or me, because I really am horrible at coloring. So you go ahead and click install now, and then click activate, and you get this message. This is, oh look, we found an SSL on the certificate for this domain. Do you want us to go ahead and force it to SSL? Yes, plugin, please force me to SSL. Click it, and then now, boom, look, secure, HTTPS, www.fixitandpostfilms.com. Fantastic. So you can go here to, I have this up in another browser, so it's obviously I went to this link before I installed that SSL plugin, and it's not. So then you can click any one of these links, and you can magically watch it go to HTTPS now. So now everything on here is HTTPS, and that's it. Tutorial is over. Just kidding. We obviously, if you're watching this, you want to find out other ways besides just using a plugin, because less plugins on your WordPress site, the better. So I'm going to close that out. We're going to go back through here, deactivate. All right, after you deactivate your plugin, you're back to square one. WordPress has no idea that you have an SSL certificate on your server. One of the other ways to do this is to modify your htaccess file. This is a file in your root directory of your site that you can open up and edit. This basically tells your web browser what to do when you go to this specific site. It's just basically 3 lines of code that you're going to put in here, and you're going to start off with it being 1 because you want this to be the first thing that a web browser does when it visits your site. This is telling it when it goes to the site to go through port 80, and that you need to go through the HTTPS doorway for this particular domain name. Just go ahead and save that. And then you come back to your WordPress site and refresh. And then now it's through HTTPS. And again, all your links are through HTTPS. Now, one thing you might notice if you look up here is this has a little information bar. And then when you went to about, it had secure. What this means is that this page is fully secure. Every link, every image, well, there's no images on here, but everything on this page is in some sort of protocol for SSL or HTTPS. On our home site, there's not. And so an easy way for us to figure that out is by going to padlock.com, and all you do is put in your domain name into here, click check, give it a few moments. All right, so this says it found a valid certificate, when it was issued, who was issued through, and the protocols it covers. And then here are the items that are not secure on my website. Basically, it's all the images, because basically WordPress is pulling the images from the non-secure site, because that's when I first loaded this website, that's what I told it to do. So it has no idea. All we told it to do was to the main site. So to fix this, all you got to do is log back in. And once you're logged in, you'll go, to check to see what I mean is you can go to your media, click on an image, and then see how there's no HTTP there. Or I'm sorry, there is HTTP, but not HTTPS. That's what the issue is. This image is not going through the secure portal. So a really easy way to fix that is either A, you can re-upload your images, because then they'll be secure, but who has time for that? Especially if you have hundreds of images, and you probably don't even have the images still on your computer. So I have to go here to our lovely plugins. Again, there are several plugins that this will work for. I'm a fan of two of them, Velvet Blues and Better Search Replace, but we're just going to go ahead and check out Velvet Blues. All right, install it, activate it. So you can either click right here to update your URLs, or in Tools, Update URLs. And then what it asks you for is what is your old URL address and what is your new one. Basically, this is just going to search and replace the database for this particular domain. So the old one is going to be the non-HTTPS, and the new one will be the HTTPS. One thing that you have to do to make sure is when you do this, make sure that you either have the / after the .com on both of them, or not on both of them. I've seen it where some people have it on the old one but not the new one, and that can cause you huge headaches, and it is kind of a pain in the rear to fix. So we'll go ahead and remove them on both of them. And on here you want to select everything but the last one. I just have never selected the last one and never needed to. It always works. So click Update URLs now. And here it tells you the results. 3 content items, 9 attachments. So go here back to why no padlock. I mean, I guess you could actually just go to your website, right, and check out and see now how it says secure HTTPS now. So now everything on this website or on this particular page is fully secure. Now that should fix everything. Obviously, you can go through all your pages, make sure everything is secure 100%. The biggest things that you need to replace manually would be videos. If you're importing videos from another website that's not secure, but you can't obviously force those sites to be secure, and other just hyperlinks that you might have put into your content. If you just put the domain name like fixitandpostfilms.com, you put it in here, you need to make sure you put the whole URL and stuff, and that will make your site 100% secure for your visitors. And again, you can go through here and double check, and again, it will list off if you missed a couple of things. This is a great resource tool for that. Now, the other option to force SSL is to, honestly, this is probably the most simplest way, is all you have to do is go to appearance, or I'm sorry, not appearance. Jeez, it's been a long day. Why is everything moving slowly now? Interesting. Oh well, what can you do? Go to settings, and inside here, you're just going to put WordPress URL. You're going to force it, tell WordPress to use this as the destination website URL and site address. I prefer this way over all three. I'm not using any redirect rules. Some people say that's not a great thing for SEO because you have a redirect rule on the front of your site and stuff. I don't know how much truth is to that, but why not just put it in here the most direct way possible, right? So you save it inside there, click Save Changes, and then again, you would still use Velvet Blues or Better Search and Replace or any other search and replace tool to clean up all images and stuff. And this will force everyone to go there. So there's 3 ways: a plugin, editing your htaccess file, or just doing it directly here and then using some plugins to clean up the redirects, or not the redirects, but the media force. Last thing we need to go do is go back to plugins, and let's go ahead and deactivate Velvet Blues and delete it because I'm not going to no longer use it. And if I do, I will just reinstall it. Quick tip, remember when you are using WordPress, use as least amount of plugins as possible. Plugins can, if you have just plugins sitting here not serving a purpose, why have it on there? It's just giving your server less things to actually process when they're sitting there. And plus, it makes life clean. And who doesn't love clean life? So go ahead and delete these. I'm going to leave these two on here because I will, in later videos, we are going to show you what these do and how I use them to build websites. Plus, we'll use other plugins because obviously I can't build a website. Well, I can build a website with these 3 plugins, but we're going to use more than just these 3. So we're going to keep them there for later videos. On our next video, we're going to show you how to create a child theme and the importance of a child theme when designing a website. I've seen a lot of websites where they don't use a child theme, then they update their theme, and then they lose all their customization. And we obviously don't want that, because then I've seen people not update their theme for a year, 2 years because of that, and that can cause serious connection problems and security problems. All right, so if you like this video, go ahead and give us a like, and also to watch more videos, hit the subscribe button at the bottom. I just have troubles with that word, subscribe. There we go. And also make sure to check out some of our other videos and stuff and things and stuff and more things. And also make sure to leave comments below on other videos that you would like to be featured or made for you, I guess. Yep. I'm always coming up with new ideas, but it's always great to hear what you guys have to say for it. All right, until next time, take it easy.